favorite Christmas songs. Now, you don't want to let your home become a danger zone this holiday season. New Mexico Poison Center educator Jaqueline Kakos joins us this morning with tips to keep your family and friends safe from the unseen and the unknown hazards that are lurking in our homes. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Welcome back.
Well, thanks for having me back.
Well, you know, often we think of the holidays as a happy time. We don't always think of the dangers. So what is the #1 holiday hazard we should be aware of?
I don't know if there's a #1, but
Okay.
there's a few that are more prevalent during the holiday, especially when the cold weather sets in. So we have medication errors, carbon monoxide poisoning as we turn on our furnaces and fire up our fireplaces. There's some holiday decorations that are more problematic and troublesome than the others.
Yeah, and
batteries.
Let's go through some of that because let's talk first about carbon monoxide, because carbon monoxide, if you don't know, it's a colorless, it's an odorless and a tasteless gas, which is the leading cause of accidental deaths in the entire United States. So let's talk about the common sources of carbon monoxide that's in your home.
So carbon monoxide poisoning happens when your fuel burning appliances the carbon monoxide doesn't fully burn off.
Okay.
So what you want not to do is to use your dryer to heat your home. Or to use your oven to heat your home. You never ever want to bring in like a charcoal grill or a generator in a closed space in your home, even if the windows and the fans are on, Nikki, because that does not properly ventilate.
So if it's a cold day and you really don't want to spend the money on the heating bill, don't open the oven and let the air, don't do that.
Yeah, that's very dangerous. Also, you shouldn't be warming up your car in the garage even if the doors are open.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, because that doesn't keep the circulation from going inside your house.
Okay.
So very dangerous. So what you want to do is every year, annually, you need to make sure that you get your fireplace inspected.
Okay.
You need to get your furnace inspected.
Okay.
And any other heating appliance that you have in your house, and make sure you repair them as needed.
Well, if we're talking about checking a furnace or something, what happens if we discover a leak? What would we do?
Okay, so that's the thing with carbon monoxide. As you said, you can't see it, you can't taste it, you can't smell it.
Exactly.
So it's so very important that you have a carbon monoxide detector or more in your home. They should be mounted outside of every sleeping area, on every level of your home. Okay?
Really?
Yes, and you need to check the batteries regularly.
Yeah. Because it won't do you any good without that. Okay, that's important. And if we move into the kitchen, okay, an area we spend a lot of our time during the holidays, what are some of the guidelines for preparing and storing our food?
Okay, so the important thing during the holiday season is to wash your hands thoroughly with warm water.
Right.
Before and after meal preparation. You want to also refrigerate the leftover food, perishable items, no more than 2 hours after the meal's ended.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So if you have a lot of guests, don't get so caught up and busy. Make sure you put it right in the fridge.
Exactly.
Good to know that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now I didn't know this, but there are actually, this is an interesting statistic. 3 ounces of hard liquor can actually be fatal if consumed by a small child. Right?
Yeah, a child weighing about 25 pounds or less. Yeah, it can be.
And a lot of people have young children around the house. So what if a child does drink alcohol? I mean, it's around a lot during holiday season.
It is.
So what should the parent do?
Well, I would suggest to call the Poison Center right away.
Okay.
And they can help you assess the situation, determine whether or not the child needs to go to the emergency room or see a doctor or not. Or they can just help them manage it at home. So they can help you determine that.
So just being aware and making sure you take care of things right away.
So you want to make sure that your guests are reminded of that they don't leave their drinks lying around at a party while they're conversating. And it's easy to do. It happens.
It sure is.
There's also eggnog is sold with liquor in it now, and so is whipped cream during the holiday season. So just be mindful of that and try to keep the hard liquor away from the little ones and out of their reach.
Okay, and real quickly, you mentioned in the beginning that decorations were an issue too, the decor. So can you tell me real quickly, because you know they're very pretty, obviously, but they do pose a danger. So what decorations should be kept out of reach from children?
Essentially, all of them should.
Really?
Because I mean, you really wouldn't want your child eating a Christmas light or, you know, anything else.
Yuck.
And they do. They eat everything.
They do.
So the more worrisome ones are oil lamp.
Okay.
Okay, that can cause severe damage to your lungs and could even potentially be fatal if ingested. Angel hair is made of glass.
So we're not talking angel hair spaghetti,
No.
kind of. No, not that kind.
Yeah,
Okay.
so those are probably the two biggies. But like I said, you want to just keep all those decorations up high.
Well,
and out of reach. And also, there's batteries.
Right,
and batteries
right.
pose a serious risk, not only a choking risk, a poisoning risk, because when the saliva in some batteries react with the acid, then it burns.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So keep the batteries away
Yeah,
from the
I would
kids.
also
It's not
suggest
worth it.
taping the battery compartment, because you know almost every toy has batteries.
You can just pull them off. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
and a lot of people, one of the decorations a lot of people have are plants and trees and things like that. So which plants are actually toxic?
Okay, well, there's a lot of plants that are toxic.
Okay.
So first of all, parents should know what plants they have in their home and whether or not they're toxic. They can call the Poison Center and find that out.
Oh, okay, so you can just give them a whole rundown.
So what the more common ones during this season are amaryllis, rhododendron, mistletoe, chrysanthemums, holly berries.
Not halle berries. Those people, people would love halle berries, but they're not going to get those. Now, I had to say it, I'm sorry. But you know, it's another thing. I mean, Kristen was just sick yesterday. It's cold and flu season. A lot of people getting sick. So we really want to remind parents about keeping those medications out of the reach of children too. And we talked about that once before here.
Right.
So let's give a little bit of a briefing to our viewers of what medications to keep out of reach, especially.
All medication should be kept up high and out of the reach of your children, as any kind of potentially poisonous substance should be up high and out of the reach. So yeah, you're right. So it's flu and cold season. So our cabinets, our medicine cabinets, are heavily stocked with remedies.
They are.
So there's more for children to get into. Also, another thing to be aware of for adults alike is that acetaminophen is in a lot of different medications.
Oh, sure it is.
And people don't realize that. So make sure you know, I mean, if you have flu or cold, you might be taking 2 or 3 different medications, all of which may have acetaminophen or maybe not. So just be aware if there's acetaminophen in each one, because you don't want to overdose on that.
Definitely not. And you've mentioned a couple times that our viewers can contact you and get more of that information. So let's tell them how they can contact the New Mexico Poison Center.
The number is 1-800-222-1222. Okay, so you can call anytime you have a question about a poison, anytime you need help with a poison emergency, or if you have a question about your medications.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. You can call them in that instance.
And you can get these magnets for your fridge. They're really handy dandy to have always laying around.
We have telephone stickers in English and Spanish. We have magnets in English and Spanish. We have plenty of brochures, educational materials.
Wonderful.
Coloring books for the children.
Great, and it teaches them in a fun way.
It does.
Jacqueline, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays to you.
And you don't want to go away, because still ahead on New Mexico Style, lots of fun. Santa Paws is coming to town, and we'll tell you where you can find a furry friend to cuddle up with on a cold winter night. And hello, Newman. We're talking to stage and screen star Wayne Knight about his new sitcom, and you can find out which 4-star resort is offering New Mexico residents a hot holiday staycation. Don't go away.